ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजाः पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। We haven't met in quite a few weeks. So thank you for making the time to join. I know there's a lot going on. We have different options, different classes. You took the time to be here. I'm very grateful to you. Personally, I have been traveling, then sick, then some other event, something. So we've had a little break, perhaps welcome break for you, but a break nevertheless. And I hope to continue the Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha Kanda is a challenge because there is a lot of detail about fighting and war and strategy, which when it has to be narrated, it has its limitations because to convey every detail, one is hard for me, and second, it may not be easily assimilable for the audience. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, we had left off that Ramachandra performed his duties, although his heart was completely shattered in separation from Sita Devi. Yet, as the sun was setting, he did his evening duties. That's where we left off. That was the end of chapter 3, I think. Chapter 5, sorry. Before we go further, since this is Kartik month and it's an important month for Vaishnavas and actually for anybody within the Vedic culture, I'm curious if any of you would like to share some inspirations that you are uh, focusing on, meditating on, or considering during Kartik. Uh, Either it's from Ramayana or any aspect of bhakti that's been inspiring you. I'd love to hear some thoughts to get us warmed up. We haven't met in quite a while. So, anybody? We'll take a few minutes and see if someone wants to share. Really, nobody, huh? Oh, supposedly I finished chapter 6 as well. Okay. Okay. Any meditations? Nothing? Really?
What happened?
Nothing for Karthik? Are you shy? You're hesitating? Is your humility stopping you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Kumarika Mataji here.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, I missed your question. Actually, I had some net issues. I dropped and I came back, but I don't know
Question.
actually your question.
The question was, we haven't met in a while. Are there any certain inspirations, meditations, something that you're holding sacred during this month of Kartik? Just something. And the crowd just went dead silent. So I don't know if uh, there isn't anything, or it's just one's own humility, supposed humility, that stops you from saying something in glorification of the Supreme Lord. Or is that you may be thinking, oh, this is Ramayana class. I'm thinking about the gopis in Brindavan. Fantastic. It's the same Supreme Lord. So, yeah, Yamuna Jivana. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Good morning to you, Sana. I got the opportunity, as I shared with you, to speak at IIT about Lord
Mm,
Ram. And I heard the recording yesterday to see what mess I made. But I want to appreciate, because it was a meditation for me, of, the message you sent me of how the celebration is really about the character of Lord Ram. That's what Diwali represents. So Diwali is when actually Damodar Leela took place. So the character of Lord Ram. So taking your cue, I read specifically the last section of Ramayana where Ram finished the war and his exchanges with Vibhishan.
mm,
They boarded the plane, came to Ayodhya, and then just the moving um, interactions between Hanuman and Bharat,
mm,
followed by Ram coming, and then Ram, his first priority was first Bharat and then his mother's, despite all of the glory he was receiving from the citizens of Ayodhya. So just that sweet section was very moving. And the character of Lord Ram being someone who truly cares despite his omnipresence and despite his omnipotent nature, being God,
mm.
was really a special meditation. So
No, thank you.
that's my
Delightful.
input.
Very sweet. Very sweet. Very sweet.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, in this month of Kartik, in the very first day, I heard a lecture where they said you should meditate about a person, one of the personalities, and I somehow got attracted to Yashoda Mai, and I am trying to meditate on her
Mm.
and the way she uh, could bind Krishna out of her love. So that is my meditation for this month. I'm thinking, Prabhu.
Very nice. Very nice. How can anyone bind Krishna? That's amazing. People are warming up. Anyone else? Let me see if I can warm you up and encourage you a little bit. The armies with Ramachandra are on the northern shore of the ocean, and they have to somehow get to the southern shore. It's a big task. They don't know what's waiting. Of course, exactly. Ravana and his millions of Rakshasas are waiting. They know something massive war is about to happen. Ramachandra is pining and crying for Sita Devi. That's sort of the present context of it. But what is not spoken and to be appreciated and understood is somewhere in the back of his mind, there is thoughts about Bharata. And we hear it here and there, so it's dhvani, we to pick it up. The agony is multiplied for Ramachandra because he's put in a situation where it almost sounds like either he gets Sita or he gets Bharata. And his whole angst is to not be able to, not have to be in that choice, that he wants both. He wants to be able to have Sita Devi back and be united with Bharata. And this is an agony that's been going on for almost a year. And in that year, a good at least for me, something I've been appreciating for the past couple of weeks is throughout the Kishkindha Kanda, as Sita Devi is not present, she's in Lanka, Ramachandra's heart is under severe distress. One, of course, Sita Devi is not to be seen. Their forest exile will be ending in about 2 months' time. There, Bharata had made a promise, if you don't show up the morning of the day where the 14 years have been completed, I will walk into fire and kill myself. Although in the Ramayana we don't hear necessarily specifically the thoughts to Bharata, previously we know specifically that there is such love and anxiety to be back with Bharata. Yet the current context is to find Sita Devi. The kind of dilemma that he is in is very, very painful for the heart. Yet Ramachandra doesn't show it to the general audience, but he carries it in his heart. And there are very close, intimate persons who sense that. Lakshmana, of course. Hanumanji senses it. And this anxiety becomes exasperated when, after the Chaturmas time, Sugriva hasn't done anything yet. He's a friend. Ramachandra doesn't want to lose a friend. Yet he has to get his friend to be inspired to do his part. And so in all of this, the Ramachandra's composure, while his heart is being shattered, either he can find his wife. If his wife is dead, then his life is pretty much ended. Or lose Bharata, the dearest brother. And then also his life will be meaningless or incomplete. And yet he manages through life, meeting all his obligations, keeping up his friendships, keeping up his responsibilities, inspiring others, being a leader, being who he is, and still slowly and steadily moving through the obstacles. A fascinating character of Sri Ramachandra. It's not easy to be like that, but he's that shining model that forever will be a guide for humanity. That's what I've been thinking about a little bit. Anyone else wants to share before we jump in?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Vadanya.
So for me, like since long, I'm like meditating on how to express gratitude, basically.
Mm.
So it's very hard for me to express my feelings.
Mm.
I feel that not necessarily expressing through words will convey, but sometimes, like in previously, I used to express a lot, spontaneous, like whenever I feel anything, I used to express a lot. But I don't know how this changed, but somehow I don't feel like expressing now very quite oftenly. I mean, not I don't have the feeling of gratitude, but I don't want to express. Even for Maharaj, I used to express a lot initially. But nowadays, suddenly, so I'm like just meditating on that, like how should I express, whether I should express quite often, that kind of thing. For Karthik, I'm like just because I have so much gratitude for so many people, but I don't express a lot nowadays. Like,
And what happened that stops you from?
I don't know. Like,
Mm.
I just feel like I feel that gratitude for sure. It's not that is reduced, but somehow expression is reduced.
Mm.
I don't know. I am meditating on that. Like whether it's really important to like always express or uh, having gratitude and doing like of course doing services and uh, that like through that expressing gratitude is important, but I don't know, like initially I don't know how it changed for me, but somehow I went within. I think I shared that with you as well when I had like a lot of physical like health issues, but I'm going inside more. That's what I feel instead of
Okay.
like yeah expressing. So that is my meditation for Karthik. Like I have decided uh, I'm still like thinking, meditating on what should I do and that like for Karthik month for sure.
I don't know if this will help. I'm going to say one that perfect segue into what we were going to discuss. There is manasa, karmana by action, and vacha by speaking. And when all three are aligned, then the person is called sarala or straight or simple. Often in the world, people may not feel in the manasa something, but their vacha, they say. So there's a disconnect between what they feel and what they say. That is called flattery, which is exactly what we're going to hear in this chapter. A perfect segue. Thank you. Sri Ramachandra's grace that he inspired you, sir. Some people do, but don't say or don't feel. That seems just some sort of obligation. Ideally, one feels, does, and speaks. Now, it doesn't matter what proportion it is, most important is to feel it. And opportunities are there to express it in different ways. One can write it for themselves, one can write it to others, one can speak it to someone else, one can express through acts of service that necessarily don't have to be loud, but it's all carried from the feeling of gratitude.
Naturally. Yeah, that's what I don't want to be like just for sake of like saying or something.
That's the more to feel. Now,
Yeah. I use like I am expressing it to others, but not to that person maybe specifically.
That's even better actually sometimes.
Oh, okay.
There is from a study of Ramayana, we will see that chastisement or punishment is done privately and glorification is done publicly. However, many times people practice it the other way. They glorify privately and chastise publicly. Ramayana teaches us the other way. Because in chastisement and punishment, there is shame and embarrassment. So it's to be done privately. But glorification is done publicly. Like in the couple of classes back, Sri Ramachandra spoke to the entire monkey army about Hanumanji. But the other is also right, that forgiveness or expressing regret should be done publicly. To say sorry must be done. I mean, not public, your issue public statement, but it's not necessarily done privately. It should be done a little bit more openly, which we will see as this episode continues, which we saw earlier, and we'll see again when Yuddha Kanda continues. Speaking without the feeling, number one, or speaking only certain merits without a fuller picture of disadvantages or demerits, is called flattery. And the title was Flattery Contradicts or Erodes Well-Wishing. Somebody who wishes the other person well will not, should not engage in flattery. Because flattery is just fanning someone's ego, mostly coming from some selfish purpose. Ravana is asking his assembly of ministers, and he's asked them to speak. Yet Ravana's speech about him, his strength, the kind of ministers they should be, the ideal followers or ministers, we discussed that, and Sharana reminded me that a ideal assembly or minister group of advisors is those who consult Shastra, who discuss among themselves, they come to consensus, etc. So he gave 3 levels of greatness of ministers. And the way he's talking, he sounds so erudite, scholarly, as if he's some great fellow, but not in the eyes of sages like Valmiki. So Valmiki starts chapter 7 with Ityuktva Rakshasendra Rakshasaste Mahabalaha. Rakshasaha te Mahabalaha. All these very, very strong Rakshasas who are sitting around him as his ministers, who also he has spoken to them about what a good set of advisors should do. Then all of them spoke back. Uchuhu pranjaleha sarve ravanam rakshasa ishwaram. Pranjalayas, everyone folded their hands. One, this is out of respect, but morally respect coming from fear. The fear that if they say something that he doesn't like to hear, they will be dead. And Valmiki says that Ravana, when he called all these Rakshasas, they are stupid. So, Dvishat Paksha Avigyaya. Dvishat Paksha means one, not knowing the real strength of the enemy, which is Sri Ramachandra and all the monkeys on that side. Avigyaya, completely unaware of the strength that's on that side. Niti Bahyastva Abuddhayaha. Niti Bahyastva, don't know any, don't have a good grasp of political insight and what it takes to win this war. Abuddhayaha, very, very foolish. Because foolish people flatter, wise people advise. They will advise, this is your strength. By the way, that is your weakness. Foolish people will only say, oh, Jai, Jai, you're great, you're great, you're great, and actually mislead. the person whom they're supposed to advise. So the Rakshasas, one after the other, will say, "Oh, Ravana, look at us. We are all very, very strong. We have parighas, these big iron bars, spears, javelins, swords that are very sharp on both edges, darts, arrows, everything is so strong. Our army is very, very strong. Why are you worried?" Duryodhana also assessed his army. "Oh, on all my side are fantastic warriors. Bhishma Deva, you and this one and that one, this one and that one. On their side, Bhima and then now they are flattering Ravana. Why are you worried, Ravana? Tvaya bhogavatim gatva nirjatah pannaga yudhi. You went to Bhogavati, which is the place where all the Nagas live in the Patala area, where it is the person who's the predominant personality there with Nagas and Yakshas is Kubera. You went to that place, destroyed all of it, defeated all the Nagas and Yakshas who are very, very strong. And Kubera, you took away. From there, Kubera had gone to Kailasha because Kubera also lives in Kailash with Lord Shiva. So from there you went and defeated Kubera, who was surrounded with so many yakshas. And guess what did you do? Kubera, who said, "Oh, I am friend of Lord Shiva," who Lord Shiva is supposed to be a very strong personality. Kubera is one of the Dikpalakas. That means he protects the universe from one direction. You easily defeated. He's your older brother. You defeated him in battle like anything. Nirjitah samare roshal lokapalo mahabala. Oh, he may be a guardian of the entire direction, but you defeated him. So they're going through Ravana's resume. However, there's something about resumes. Resume is one document where people, in the name of putting stuff, exaggerate and add flowery languages for all their skills and accomplishments. So they're reading Ravana's resume. Yeah. And it says, you defeated Kubera and took away the Pushpaka Vimana that was with him, and you brought it here. Next, Mayena Danavendrena Tvad Bhayat Sakhyamicchata. The greatest Danava by the name Maya got scared of you and offered himself in friendship. And how did he show his pact or contract of friendship? Duhita tava bharya arthe datta rakshasa pungava. Oh, best of the Rakshasas, he showed his fear and contract of friendship with you by offering his daughter to you in marriage. And that daughter's name is Mandodari. As if that was not enough. Danavendro madhurna mahavirya utsikto durasadaha. There is another demon, another Danava by the name Madhu. Madhu is Ravana's another sister, Kumbhinasha's husband. He was also ruler of the demons, who himself was so proud and arrogant and strong, and you completely crushed him in battle. Kumbhinasasya sukhavaha. His Kumbhinasa's husband, and you completely crushed him. Oh, Ravana, as if that was not enough, that you were not just fighting battles here and there, you went all the way down to Rasatala. Mahabaho, Naga Gatva Rasatalam Vasukim Takshaha Shankho Jati Va Vasham Ahrita. There are all these great, great personalities. Vasuki, Takshaka, Shankha, Shankha, and Jati. You fought with them and you uh, made them your followers. Followers means they agreed that, oh, you're our master. We accept defeat with you. And they who are so expert at tricks and magics and mystical warfare, even then they were defeated by you, and they agreed to give all the secrets of warfare, their mystical warfare, to you. Okay. Then you went to Varuna's abode, Varunalem, and Varuna's sons who came with mighty armies of elephants and chariots and cavalry and infantry. All of Varuna's sons were defeated by you. Then you went to Yama's abode, Yamadharmaraj or Yamaraj's abode. One who goes to Yamaraj's abode never comes back. But you went there and you had such a fantastic fight with Yamaraj. Although Yamaraj holds in his hand the rope of death, it's called Kala Sarpa, Kala Pasha. Pasha is the noose. Yet, although Yamaraj had such big army, because he had a special weapon called the Jwara, yet you did not die. In fact, you came back. And everybody in the universe was delighted to see this battle. Now, in Uttarakhand, we will hear that the reality of it, how is in a circumstance, two people see situations very differently. Here, they are flattering Ravana that you went and challenged Yamaraj, and Yamaraj, without saying it, they're saying Yamaraj was defeated, because one who goes to Yamaraj's abode, especially to fight him, cannot come back. But you've come back. The real story is Yamaraj was about to finish off Ravana, but Lord Brahma intervened and said, no, no. It is for Ramachandra to come and finish him, not you. But how does Ravana read it? Or Ravana's sycophant followers say, oh, you're so great. You're so great. All of them were as strong as Indra himself, but yet you have been able to be easily successful and defeated all of them. Then what to speak of Rama? Cha, after all, a human being. There are so many mighty warriors in the universe who you have defeated. Ram is just a human being, ordinary human being. Human beings are the weakest kind. In fact, don't worry about this war. You don't even have to go anywhere. This war is not even a war. You know, this Indrajit, your son, he alone is enough to finish the entire army of Vanaras, how many ever they may be, gazillions of them. Indrajit is in fact, it's just enough. Because Indrajit performed this big sacrifice for Lord Shiva and obtained a very special boon or blessing from him. And after he obtained that, Indrajit went and declared war on Indra. And then they glorify, and the language becomes very poetic, that this huge army of Indra was like a massive ocean in which there were turtles, elephants, frogs, alligators, which are all the 11 Rudras, the 12 Adityas, the 49 Maruts, the 8 Vasus, and they all came to fight. Yet Indra was captured by Indrajit. That's how he got the name Indrajit, although his name is Meghanada, one who rumbles like the clouds. He defeated Indra and brought him here, captured. Lord Brahma had to intervene and said, please, you cannot capture Indra like that, let him go. And this Indra is not ordinary Indra. He killed Vritrasura, Shambhara. He's the king of all the Devatas. Devatas are very, very strong. Yet Indrajit easily defeated him. So just send Indrajit. He will finish off all the Vanaras. He will finish off Rama and whoever is with him. In fact, this is not even dangerous. It's just an ordinary situation. There's not any possibility you will easily kill Ram. They are telling Ravana that you will kill Ram. Tvaya karya tvam vadhishyasi Raghavam. You will kill Ramachandra easily. So now the assembly has warmed up. Then the leader of the advisory council, Prahasta, is the commander-in-chief, who when he stood up appeared like a massive dark cloud. He joined his hands like this. Abravit Pranjalir Vakyam Shurah Sena Pratistada. Senapatis Tadaha Shura Senapati. He is the valiant commander of the armies of Ravana. And he said, Dev, Danav, Gandharvaha, Pishacha, Patagauragaha, Patagauragaha. Natvam dharshayutum shaktaha kim punar vanara rane. Ravana. The Danavas, Devas, Gandharvas, Pishachas, Pannagas, Uragas, snakes. Uraga is snake. One who moves with his shoulders. Uru is usually chest. Moves like this by moving through the crawling. Crawling is the better way. It's called a snake. Natvam dharshayutum shakta. They are not able to contain you in a battle. Impunar vanara. So what are you speaking of? Monkeys. They're monkeys. Sarve pramattaha vishwastaha vinchita sma hanumata. Nahi me jivito gachan jivan sa vanah gocharaha. He's after all a forest dweller. What happened is when Hanuman came in, we were unaware and we neglected him. That's how he could come alive and went back alive. Otherwise, now that we are alert, there is no way. In fact, give me the orders. I will go to that side of the ocean and finish off all the monkeys on planet Earth. Completely. The Earth will be free of monkeys. There will not be one monkey alive. And no trouble will come to you, Ravana. And when Prahasta spoke, Durmukha got it. And Valmiki says, Idam na kshamaniyam, hi sarvesham na pradharshanam. That the humiliation that Hanuman subjected us to should not be tolerated. Because this insult is very, very serious. In fact, it is outrageous. We should not keep quiet. Give me the order. I will go and finish off all the monkeys. Not that if they are just on earth, even if they are hiding underground or hiding inside the ocean, I will dig them out and kill them. Now, after Durmukha, Vajradamstra. Vajradamstra means whose teeth are like uh, thunderbolts. We offer Nrsingadev also such glorification, Vajradamstra. So this demon by the name Vajradamstra stood up and said, he was already very angry. He picked up his club that was already soaked with blood and flesh of people that he's been killing. So that's always fresh with blood and flesh, because that means he's constantly killing people. And he said, that little monkey Hanuman. Why just Hanuman? I will finish off Sugriva, Rama, Lakshmana, everybody, not just monkeys. All of these who they say are great warriors, not in front of me. Give me the order right now. I will go finish off Ram, Lakshmana, Sugriva, monkeys, and I'll come back. Agamishyami hatva eko vikshobhya hari vahini. Vikshobhya means putting them into a lot of distress. Agamishyami, I will come back. And Ravana, if you want to hear further, actually, war cannot be won just by some strategy. Strategy needs good implementation. If implementation doesn't work well, you may have good strategies, but you may not be successful. Look at our army. Thousands and thousands of Rakshasas who can change their form at will are all waiting for your orders. Their eyes are eager, their bodies, their arms are itching to go. And they would easily go and finish off. And in fact, because we are Rakshasas, we even have a clever way. We will go in disguise to Ramachandra as if we are ordinary human beings, and we'll tell him, Preshita Bharatenaiva Bharata Tvaya Yavisaya. So we have been sent by Bharata, your dear brother. And Bharata himself will come here very soon, carrying spears and maces and all sorts of weapons. And we will speak words of conciliation with Ramachandra. And if Rama and Lakshmana quietly fall into our trap, then we will kill them right away. That way we don't even have to fight. We can kill them by trickery. Because as soon as we say the name Bharata, Ramachandra will drop all of his guard. Then Kumbhakarna's son, Nikumbha, was also very strong, powerful, angry, spoke to Ravana. And he said to all of you, just stay here with Ravana. I alone will go and kill Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanuman. Aham eko hanishyami Raghavam saha Lakshmanam. Sugrivam sa Hanumatam. Sarvamsh Chevatra Vanaran. And all the monkeys also. I'll alone do it. Then, it's now competition. They're all trying to get Ravana's approval. And then there's another demon by the name Vajrahanu. Vajrahanu, one whose chin is like as strong as thunderbolt. One is Vajradamstra, Vajra Hanu. That means if you punch him, your weapon will break, but nothing will happen to his chin. He became so eager that he started licking the corners of his mouth with his tongue, that I can eat up all the Vanaras and these human beings that are there. You all sit here happily, order something from Uber Eats or whatever, and enjoy your meal, drink liquor, wine, and all sorts of things. Don't worry, I will alone finish off the entire army of the monkeys. I am alone enough to kill Sugriva, Hanuman, Lakshmana, Ravana, Angada, etc. And Ravana is listening to all of them. He's being incited to go to war. Then other Rakshasas by the names Nikumbha, Rabhasa, Surya Shatru, enemy of the sun, Suptaghna, Yagya Kopa, one who's angry about Yagya. So it's anytime someone does Yagya, he will come to destroy it. Mahaparshva, Mahodara, Agni Ketu, Rashmi Ketu, and Indrajit, Prahasta, Virupaksha, Vajramsha. They're all these, he's looking at them and they're all speaking. Dhumraksha, Atikaya, Durmukha, this whole of them, they're carrying their weapons. Ravana, let's go. Let's kill Rama. Let's kill Lakshmana, Hanuman, Sugriva, whoever it is. Don't wait for them to come here. Let's go. There's only one person in this entire assembly who has not spoken yet. You can guess who that is. Ravana's youngest brother, Vibhishana. Vibhishana got up with folded hands, pacified everybody to sit down, be quiet, because he had something important to say. Tan kruhit ayudhan sarvan varayitya vibhishanah abravit pranjalir vakyam punah pratyupaveshasya tan. Pratupaveshasya. He made them to sit down again. Upavisha means to sit. Pratyupavesha made them sit down again and sit tightly. Just wait, listen to me. I have something to tell you. Please, please listen to me. Because they're all getting so incited and Ravana's eyes are becoming big, excited. Yeah, let's go. Please, please, please listen, listen. And what he says to Ravana is something we have to wait for another week. We're out of time. But meanwhile, any comments, questions, thoughts? How flattery erodes any well-wishing, because real well-wishers will not flatter someone. They will appreciate. They may speak about a certain factual quality that the other person has, but not flattery. Flattery means exaggerating the truth by which someone's ego gets fanned and expanded like that. That's hurtful. Flattery is always hurtful. It's not a sign of well-wishing. You want to wish someone well, then you appreciate them, and appreciation has a certain nature. So flattery is, especially in some circles, we use hyperboles. Oh, you are so great. You are amazing like this. You are fantastic like that. Without anything factual. But appreciation is factual. Appreciation would be something like, I was in this difficulty. You spoke these words that really helped me. Or I was in such and such situation. you expressed your kindness to me by these actions, and that made me feel happy, or I was scared, it made me feel pacified. I was not scared. I was crying, I was sad, now I didn't feel sad. Whatever is the outcome. So it has the specific words, actions the other person did, what my situation was, and how it helped me. 3 parts. That is appreciation. But to say, you are like the shining sun that cures all problems. Because sometimes we read in Bhagavatam people speaking like that. But that's not flattery, because when they're speaking to the Supreme Lord or the Vaishnavas, it is factual. But they will also speak how very specifically the Lord and the Vaishnavas help them. So this hyperbolic, exaggerated words of flattery are very hurtful. They're meaningless also. It doesn't help the person expressing it. It doesn't help the person it's being expressed to, and it doesn't foster a bond of friendship or a healthy relationship. So those are my comments, and any thoughts or reflections. No? Okay. Okay. Until we meet again next week, we will hear what Vibhishana has to say. I'm sure whatever Vibhishana will say will be very, very meaningful, impactful. It may fall on deaf ears, but meaningful and impactful for us, because Valmiki Rishi will speak to us through Vibhishana. Until then, thank you. Let's take, since it is Kartik month, let's take our meditation to the 1, 2, 3, many wise people who are in our lives, who took the courage to give us good counsel, good advice, while our Rakshasa-like ideas were becoming stronger and stronger, were raging, and perhaps even speaking in ways to us that are detrimental to our overall well-being. And we pray that we are always surrounded by such well-wishing, sage like people. The greatest decoration for a person is to have wise people around them, because wise people will always speak what is the most well-wishing thing for us. And we pray that this Sri Ramachandra, Sita Devi, Lakshmana, and Hanuman always guide and send such people in our lives. To cross paths with wise people is the greatest fortune of human life. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.